right. Well, Shelby, do you want to record a podcast?
I do actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Has anything been really exciting the past couple of days? Anything you want to podcast about?
Well, there's this show that everybody seems to love to hate, and I'm not talking about Iron Fist. People have been, the hate has been like boiling over for this show for how many months now?
Forever. So this is Superlaties number 38. Or wait, it might be 39. I don't know. We're in the late 30s.
We are.
Yeah, I know. And we are going to talk about, every show. It's like the hipsters of television.
Yeah.
I think that's probably a bad analogy. I think that's only my analogy. We might need to come up with a good analogy, but everybody loves to hate it. And it is Inhumans. Yay.
Yeah, and I wondered though, yay Inhumans first of all, because I have been looking forward to this for a while. It didn't matter if I was going to love it or hate it. I was ready to see the first 2 episodes. But I do wonder if Scott Buck's name was not attached to this. Would there be so much hate still for this show? Or would the hate just be so it's just so ragey?
Well,
they're so passionate about their hate.
Well, okay, so I've been trying to piece this all together because I first saw, I got to see the press screener back in July.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been saying from the beginning, the thing that's awful about this show is the first 2 minutes are awful.
See, you had so prepared me for the first 2 minutes to be so awful. When I watched the first 2 minutes, I was like, I really didn't see what was so awful.
Really? Okay. Well, and that's where,
prepare
one
for
of our
the
friends
worst.
once told me, set the bar really low and folks will be pleasantly surprised. But so for all I know, they changed it for television. I tuned in for 8:30 to 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't see, was it Triton saving some girl in the woods and pulling back his hood and going, we are Inhumans?
Well, he didn't really save her. He got her murdered, but
okay. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Oh, by the way, full Inhuman spoilers for the first 2 episodes.
And we're guessing she was an Inhuman, but really all we saw was her yellow glowy eyes. It was all that we really. So yeah, he got her killed. I was like, good job, Triton. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. And
but that wasn't cringy awful to you. I just thought it was awful.
No, it was no more cringy awful than say the Cloak and Dagger trailer to me, or
okay,
or cringy awful than some of the moments I've seen on Flash or Arrow or even Iron Fist.
Well, and to me, watching that whole thing, that is your first impression of the whole show. And it starts with zooming in on raindrops hitting a leaf. And in IMAX, it was and then those raindrops echo throughout the theater. And then this person stepping there and I'm like, are we dealing with Daredevil here? Are we supposed to be hearing these raindrops? Or are we just being overly dramatic? And I
think because I'd already seen all those moments in one of the shitty trailers that we got, that it didn't even register again. This was shot for IMAX. This is what this is for. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm glad you but though I'm glad I was prepared. When you warned me about the first 2 minutes. And it wasn't so bad. I thought, well, damn, I'm good now. That was she said that was the first 2 minutes were horrible, and then it gets okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm going to love this show.
Good. Hey, Inhumans, here I am, making your show received better by setting people's expectations in the gutter.
But, we both liked Iron Fist. So
True.
I don't really have the hate on for Scott Buck. I do have hate on for the word grounded when it comes to Inhumans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly keep forgetting that I liked Iron Fist. People have convinced me at this point that I did not like Iron Fist. And then occasionally I go back and I'm like, wait a second.
I enjoyed Iron Fist.
I actually liked Iron Fist. I remember being excited about Iron Fist and really enjoying it. People have convinced me that it's a bad show, not through logic, just from like everybody being all negative about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird.
I do think they could have done a better job, like you said, the way they sort of drop us into this world. I don't know how anybody who doesn't have even like a little, like a slight, like Inhumans background would care one bit. Or even understand what's going on.
Well, and that's my complaint. I mean, my overall complaint with the whole show, and I've just started shrugging it off going, maybe I'm just not a fan of network television.
Exactly.
Is that it is so, there is no depth. It is so two-dimensional. You know, here I am an Inhuman. I have an idea. Let's do this idea. You know, last night, like I said, I watched about a half hour of it last night because some of it that would have been my third time sitting through it, and I just couldn't anymore. But
no, it was long even for me because I'm used to now like watching Netflix or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, an hour long show is 40 minutes. So to know that this is going to be 2 hours of sitting there after the first hour, and then my satellite goes out because, you know, it rained. That's all. It rained and my satellite went out. I was like, this is long. This is really, really long. And that's coming from somebody who watches like 55 minutes of Netflix, you know, episodes. Yeah. But it was dragging on.
Well, and I mean, like I saw it in theaters where it was 75 minutes that covered the first 2 episodes. And even though it was only 75 minutes, that dragged on. That was just kind of like, I mean, there was nobody else in the theater. I mean, there were like 6 of us total. I sat in the back. There was nobody behind me. So I started, texting the guys at the MCU Exchange that had seen it, like while I basically live tweeted from the theater, but it was.
Well, I don't know how they took it 2 episodes and your main character is a guy who does not speak, and they made it into 2 hours of the talkiest shit with like. I'm gonna slip up and call him Ramsey, like Bolt, instead of Ramsey Bolton. But,
yeah.
With Maximus standing around doing a whole lot of talking.
Well, and I mean, yeah. So the part that last night, I mean, the one example that came to mind was like Gorgon standing there and the surfers being like, you're a fighter. You should bring the fight to you. And then he like immediately texts Maximus and is like, here I am, come get me. And then Maximus is like, okay, you go. And it just, that was really my least favorite. The surfers and the stuff on the beach was probably my least favorite part. Like that was more cringy to me than the first 2 minutes. Right. Well, I mean,
other than him walking into the ocean. Like
I never promised that the cringing would end after the first 2 minutes. I just, you know,
I don't understand why he walked into the ocean.
That was at that point in the theater, I was texting the guy just like, oh my God, why is Gorgon going in the ocean? Why?
Can hoofed animals not swim?
No, they can swim just fine. I've gone horse swimming. Wait.
Yeah. I just didn't know, like, why did he just...
I mean, you know, they're not natural born swimmers, but, like, hoops, evidently, so, yeah. I've heard a theory that it's that they're setting the stage for Gorgon to just, you know, prove that he's an act first, think later kind of guy. And I'm just not believing the show has that kind of depth.
Yeah. But I just really think he forgot he couldn't swim.
I'm like, what did he expect? Like, if I yell for Triton underwater, will he hear me better?
Okay, I have another, like, question. Like, they live on the moon, and they're, like, destroying these rovers, and they know the humans are watching them. Do they have no idea about planet Earth at all?
Yeah, they do, because they sent Triton down to rescue the Inhumans on Earth.
Right. But so why, when they get there, do they act completely confused about everything? They haven't been studying like Earthlings at all. That's my only other problem.
No, do they not know that their king is mute when they give him a telephone comm device thing?
Well, we have talked about that. I do not understand why they're not texting. Why there's not a text thing. I love his sign language. Now, Anson Mountain is sign language, and that is cool. Don't have any problems with that. But I'm like you with the comm and the tech. That's.
The comm, I mean, I'm just like, did you not know? Did you not know your king is mute? He's all there, like, for the first time ever, trying to figure out tapping on it. Tap, 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 tap. Like,
Yeah, like tapping, putting it to his little heart,
Fine,
which
you
was so
tap
sweet.
on it. Do you and your wife not know Morse code? Like, or, you know, I mean, okay, so you don't speak English, or, you know, like, you don't have a moon Morse code? I
just don't understand why he doesn't have like a little like Stephen Hawking like assist thing to like help him speak.
That would upset me, but
it might have, but it would just.
But I feel like there could have been a creative solution to this. I feel like him and Medusa would have a way to communicate when they're apart from each other.
They do, like, telepathically. Supposed to be.
Oh, Shelby, it's supposed to be grounded.
But the heart is, like, telepathy. His heartbeat. Maybe his heart beats in Morse code.
Maybe it's abnormally loud, too. Like, I'm gonna stick this microphone up to my chest and see what you hear. Da-dum. Da-dum.
It says, no. I love you too, Rhiannon. I'm coming for you.
It says, holy shit, you have 3 cups of coffee, stop!
I'm gonna find you, Rhiannon. We're gonna be together soon. Yeah, so that's it. I would have liked to have gotten, we got some cool, like, little flashback stuff with baby Medusa, baby Black Bolt, and baby, like, Black Bolt and his parents, like, murdering his fucking parents. That was neat.
Pretty spectacularly murdering his parents.
Like, yeah. I would have liked, and maybe it's coming, I would have liked to have gotten some baby, like, Ramsey Maximus, like, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Just, because all we get is baby Maxie Bolt, like, going around, like, talking. And, you'd like to know where this sort of comes from more. But like you said, maybe it's not that deep. Just accept it.
Yeah, and I mean, I have lots of hopes for where I hope it's going. I'm hoping it's going to turn out to be far deeper than it appears.
Well, I hope that he ends up being the crazy, like, Maximus from the comic with, like, mind control shit and stuff.
Right.
That's what I hope, but I don't really know if that's where they're going to go. I don't know if that's grounded enough.
I hope it's where they're going. I hope that Black Bolt is not using some of his powers that he has in the comic books. That it's not that he doesn't have them, but it's that he's not.
What did you think about his little, like, headgear when they were doing the Terrigenesis, like, ceremony?
I thought it was a very grounded version of the comic book headgear.
It was great, though. It was. They're trying.
It was a nice homage to the comics. It
what else?
I love Lockjaw.
Lockjaw's so precious. Everybody wants a Lockjaw now, except for my cat Loki, who thinks Lockjaw's like dumb.
Well, that sucks for Loki, because
like stupid teleporting dog.
Damn it, Loki! I sent you a Lockjaw, and if you don't appreciate it.
What else did I enjoy? Medusa's hair in the fight scene, or Medusa's hair in general, did not bother me at all. I'm not bothered by that.
And I have to say, the hair, having gotten a chance to see that early press screener, the hair improved.
My only issue with the fight scene is that Medusa needs to move with her hair. Yeah. I don't know if we'll ever get that, because I don't know if we're ever getting Medusa with her hair back this season. But the hair moving is cool, but she needs to move with the hair. She's standing still and the hair's moving, and I want her, like, kicking ass, because Medusa can fight too. So I wanted that. That was my only issue with her hair. I didn't think it looked shitty. I didn't think it looked any shittier than anybody else's hair or costume.
Yeah.
I
don't love the lavender dress with the red hair, but it's supposed to be otherworldly and shit.
And purple's her color, so that's her. Medusa is purple, so I love her. And also, when Maximus does shave her head, we do hope that that's going someplace. And we've both read the comic run where we hope we know where that's also going, but who knows?
Yeah. I hope, and I think I had issue with that scene because in my head I assumed it was the same background as what's in the comics, and if it's not, if it's not that,
and they don't do something spectacular with it.
But if it is that her emotion was very wrong to me. I mean, so comic spoilers, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll just like comic spoilers right here. In the comics, she knows. I mean, they can only cut her hair because she is allowing them to cut their hair. So in my mind, and I talked about this on the MC Exchange podcast, but in my mind, if she was allowing them to cut her hair, she should have been looking him in the eyes and just like, I mean, still crying, still emotional about it, but it should have been more of a like, fuck you. You're doing this to me. I don't know. There should have been something behind her emotions that gave you a hint that she was only allowing it. You know, so that however many episodes later, if they reveal, you know, oh, I was only letting you do it, that you could go back, see a flashback to that scene, and oh, there was a look in her eye of fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
and
saw
so
somebody else,
in that scene, I was watching for that, and I didn't see the fuck you in her eyes.
Yeah, somebody else said, and I don't know if that's what they were talking about, but somebody else had said that they had issue with the way the way she played, you know, episode 2, the way that they portrayed her, the way they wrote her, or whatever in episode 2. So yeah, I guess time will tell. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see. And maybe it is a little of both. Maybe there is something there where she knows she's allowing it, but at the same time, maybe she doesn't know. Will her hair grow back or will it not? I mean, she's allowing it to happen, but maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she's never been this vulnerable before. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
But if they just cut her hair to cut her hair, it better be something else spectacular. Like, yeah. I don't know. She learned some huge lesson from this or something. I don't know.
Mostly,
I can really rock like a buzz cut. That's what she learns from it. I don't know.
Yeah. And Serinda Swan evidently really rocked the buzz cut. Like she said,
so gorgeous.
A lot of her emotion in like the first scene where she sees herself in the mirror was kind of legit because they had just shaved her head for the show.
Oh, she's been going around rocking that platinum blonde.
Right.
She's so gorgeous. I wish I could look like Serinda Swan with my head shaved.
Right. I would just look like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Chris Farley. I'm trying to think of some really fat guy with a shaved head.
The fight between her and Oron was cool, but it was probably the worst fight since that very first fight scene in Iron Fist when we see him take on the guards at Rand Enterprises. Yeah. It was bad.
Yeah.
But I was glad to see Medusa kick ass. You know, that was cool. It's like, yay, Medusa with her knife skills. And Black, and then, Black Bolt, cause you know, from the trailer, they made it look like when Black Bolt, you know, like gets to Hawaii that they crack him in the back of the head with like the baton and that's why he like.
Right. That was.
They really messed that up for us. Cause if in the trailer we had known why he let his like little squeak out.
Yeah. It would have made a lot more sense. Like in the trailer, they intentionally made this show look like they were butchering the characters. But like when I first saw that scene where he lets out his little squeak, I was like, oh, okay, that's legit. Like,
yeah, he's probably never been tased before.
Yeah.
And you do get to see him take quite a beating. Like he does.
Right. Right. And even after the taser, he's good and quiet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, yeah, that. And I'm just wondering, so my big question with Black Bolt is how much of it right now is he just letting things go the way things are going?
Yeah. Yeah. Because now he's arrested and like being booked and being sent to jail, which is it's just a great scene. That was a great scene to me. A lot of people probably might look at it like, that's goofy as hell. That was goofy as shit.
I love just like him, the Black Bolt.
Just like him shopping for clothes. Like, that was just goofy. But he was so great in the precinct and like taking the handcuffs off and like just laying them up. Well, there you go. Oh, all you want me to do is go pose for a picture? Okay.
Yeah.
So now he's in jail. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like the Black Bolt in episode 2. It makes it
because the constipated look that we were the constipation.
Yeah. I hope we get no more constipated Black Bolt look. Like, it's possible to play a mute character and not just like look constipated all the time.
Did you enjoy his little sign language that he created? Did you like all that?
My only complaint about it is that, I understand that he completely didn't. So there were articles and stuff about him not using ASL, that he intentionally made sure that his sign language was completely different than ASL.
Right.
But what it ends up looking to me is like he's just mocking ASL. Like
it does count. I was and I don't know a whole lot about sign language.
I know enough that to somebody that doesn't know ASL, it looks like he's trying to do it. So like I almost wish that he just had like, I wish there was something different about the way he moved his hands or the way he communicated sign language that was like, oh, obviously, like, I don't know ASL, but that is obviously not
it.
Because otherwise it just looks to me like he's mocking it. Like he's, I almost wish he had just gone with ASL because they're just speaking English and we're to assume that, it's another language. So I wish
he just held up like a whiteboard. Like he just had a dry erase board with him at all times. That'd be cool.
That would be so grounded.
He just communicated with emojis.
You and Buck, just right there on that mindset with that grounded mentality. Oh,
well, you did. Well, I'm trying to find a middle ground. You didn't want Stephen Hawking like voice.
No.
So trying to find a middle ground where he just walks around with a dry erase board around his neck at all times.
I want him to have like intergalactic sign language hands. I don't know. I want there to be something special about the way he moves his hands.
Why couldn't his? Oh my God! With Adelan technology, why couldn't he? Like, when he signs, his hands speak for him. Like, not in his voice, but his hands talk.
Like in Medusa's voice.
Or, yeah.
So, does Adelan have technology?
Well, they got those little cool comm things, which just seems to be walkie-talkies.
Okay.
That's... I wanted to go... Yeah, before we go to Adelan Tech, okay, who are the people supposed to be watching the moon again? I sort of missed that. Like, who are the moon people watchers?
Like NASA, the science lady.
Was it NASA? Because they just seem to be like in a warehouse with like one TV.
I don't know.
And like 4 computers. And I just didn't.
That part actually wasn't in the IMAX version.
Oh, really?
Yeah, science Earth people studying the moon weren't in the IMAX version. That's what they cut to make it 75
Yeah, I was just so ready to see like Inhumans that I just missed like who these people were supposed to be watching the moon rope. Yeah, and it just seemed to be like a high tech like NASA place.
And you have like one woman there that like she gives one theory and her boss is like, "You're insane, you're fired," and like
there are no cows on the moon.
There's no people on the moon.
The cow jumped over the moon, though.
She basically spells out exactly what actually happened, and then he just like with nothing, just like you've gone insane. You're fired.
I want her to be an Inhuman. I want
there to be something of depth.
Something, but yeah. So I just didn't know if I missed that. Like she was some top secret like science people moon watcher or what anyway, but yeah, okay. And my other,
I'm sure there's a real detail for that I just completely missed, but I haven't because I saw her. I guess there might have been more to her plot in the second episode that I missed because I didn't watch all of it last night.
She just goes to Hawaii. That's the only thing.
Okay, she got fired and went to Hawaii.
She got fired. She said, I need to take a vacation, and she goes to Hawaii. And as she's getting in the cab, when she gets to Hawaii, she sees the story of Black Bolt, like in the street. She sees that. So she's like, yes, I'm in the right fucking place, fucker.
She's like, I was right. Ha ha.
I was right, but I knew that because I'm an Inhuman. I'm going to find my people. Okay, let's talk Turk. Let's talk, Karnak for a minute. What the fuck happened to him? Did I miss a whole scene of him like losing his powers completely? Like what happened?
He tripped and fell, Shelby.
And hit his head, but so did he lose his powers before he tripped and fell?
He just tripped and fell, Shelby. I mean, come on. This is the grounded version of Karnak, where he can completely, like, destructure a fight and see all the weaknesses, but not, you know.
But did he mess up because he didn't have, like, two choices of two paths to go down, and he could only go down one, and that's why he didn't see the fall up ahead, and then he crashed and hit his head? I'm confused. Why does he not have any powers anymore?
You know?
You don't know either. Okay, that's cool.
As far as I know, you didn't miss anything. You know, here we are wishing the show had more depth, and they are creating these mysteries.
They really are, and I had saw people, you know, like, you know, with all the reviews coming out and the people that had already seen it going, like, they didn't understand Karnak. And I was like, oh, I'm totally going to get Karnak. Like, I got this.
Yeah.
Like, what are you people talking about? And I watched it, I'm like, well, I totally don't get Karnak.
Yeah.
Gorgon was cool, though. Gorgon ended up being funny, and I'm kind of in love with him.
I loved Gorgon. And the actor that plays him is Emmy.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Eckwalker.
Yeah.
I think is his last name.
He's cool.
Yeah.
So
M.A.
awesome.
Eckwalker. And he is cool as fuck. We got to interview him. Caleb, Adam, and I got to interview him. And
nice.
He is just cool as fuck. And Gorgon seems to be awesome. He's just an idiot. But Caleb says he's supposed to be an idiot.
Yeah, he's goofy. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I have minor complaints about the plot surrounding Gorgon, but
that's not Gorgon's fault.
It's not his fault. Like he seems cool.
I'm ready for the Gorgon spinoff. Like, I would watch that.
Yeah.
Just him hoofing around like Hawaii.
Hoofing around Hawaii. I mean,
I would watch the shit out of that. Okay, the Terragenesis ceremony was kind of a little underwhelming when the girl came out with like butterfly wings that I could get at Walmart. I kind of wanted more. But okay, at least she did. I mean, she's a flyer, obviously. Yeah.
I'm just like, I mean, we go from Gorgon, who looks like he's starring in an 80s music video that makes no sense, like with his leg warmer hoof design, and then you're gonna like pick on the butterfly wings that look like they're straight from an 80s music video.
I love it. I think we should go get us butterfly wings.
Yes.
Because right now it's all the time, and that's totally what we cosplay. We're Inhumans at New York Comic Con.
Just be the strange butterfly flying Inhuman girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we could pull this off.
I think we should do that.
Yeah.
I was sad for a brother who came out like having seizures. That was
your special power is seizures.
Because I don't know at this point, with what I know about Maximus, how much of it is, again, him using this kid.
Oh, he's totally just using this kid.
Right. And how much of it, though, is the kid he really does, because in that run that we were talking about, or maybe it's another run I read where Maximus fucks with somebody, the kid really does have powers, but Maximus is still using, through, so we'll see.
I mean, and I think this is, here I am again, hoping the show has more depth. I'm hoping that this is foreshadowing that Maximus hides his powers.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Maximus is encouraging this kid to hide his powers, so I hope it's foreshadowing that Maximus is hiding his powers. But also, I'm curious, does that kid see the future of other people, or is his gift just that he can see Maximus's future?
He saw something else. But I don't know. See, I don't know how much right now that Oron is under, like, Maximus's little thing, too.
Yeah.
seemed like there was somebody else that he had like talked to, but I don't know. I don't really remember. I haven't watched it like 8 times like I do most of these things because I don't think I can. But
3 times, Shelby. 3 times.
What else? What else did I enjoy or hate or not? Crystal right now is just, I want more from her. She's a little forgettable.
Yeah.
She's probably, yeah.
I want more Lockjaw. He better come out of his coma.
He's asleep right now. We'll see him back in episode 6.
Better not. Like, here's Lockjaw. We're giving him to you long enough for you to buy a bunch of merchandise.
Yeah, and scratch his belly.
We're going to put him in a coma because special effects are expensive, y'all.
Or hard. And we have Eldrak, the door, so.
Yeah.
I did not expect that. Yeah, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect to get Eldrak, but I was like, well, if you got Lockjaw asleep, you have to have another way to get around, so.
Yeah. I liked Eldrak.
There's a lot that I like, though. I mean, like, it's fun. It's fun. Not fun in a way of, like, I thought that, okay, the only way this is going to be enjoyable is that I make fun of it. That's the fun it's going to be. Like, I'm still excited. Like, I ended it and like, okay, I'm ready to see what happens next.
It's totally that for me. I mean, like, so far, my joy is in picking it apart. And I hate to be that person. I want to be like you. It's just like, it's fun. I love it. But
I know I was talking to Brittany about it, and I was telling her, I was like, yeah, Rihanna says the first 2 minutes are like the most awful, like, 2 minutes of television like ever filmed. And she was like, oh my God, that's bad coming for Rihanna. She's positive all the time. She normally finds something good to say.
Well, I did, compared to most criticism of Inhumans, saying that the first 2 episodes are awful and that it gets better, is good.
So do we know how many episodes, like, critics got? Did they get just the first 2? Did they get 4?
No, they got the first. I mean, as far, like, all of that initial press. So what happened was in July, there was the July, TCAs, the Television Critic Associations. Right. Mm-hmm. And so about a week or 2 before that, Marvel released, or ABC released, the first episode to the press. And it had notes all over it saying, this is not the final product. This is not for review. This is for information purposes only, which basically means, like, if you have interviews at the TCAs or, for you to prepare questions for the TCAs, here is something for you to look at. It was awful. I mean,
yeah. Well, I hated the first trailer. You remember that?
Yeah.
I hated that first trailer, and you were more positive than I was after the first trailer. Like, it was good for a first trailer. I'm like, no, fuck, it was not. It was a terrible first trailer.
Right. And then, like, at TCAs, I mean, because, like, that was all the press had to have. So the press went to TCAs, and they were like, what the fuck? I mean, like, they couldn't come up with any questions that allowed Marvel to hype it in a positive way. And, like, they didn't have very basic answers to questions. Like, what would be different between the IMAX version and the ABC version? Basically, the press was trying to get down to, why would you pay $20 for something that you're going to get for free when it's this lousy? And stuff like that. And that's where Jeff Loeb left the stage before the end of the panel. They cut the panel short.
I remember those pictures they came out with Jeff Loeb looking like...
Yeah. And at the same time, they rescinded that press screener. And as far as I know, the press didn't get any more screeners on it. Like, that was all they got. So, I don't know,
Yeah,
as
so
far as
they're right there
I know
with us.
press,
Yeah.
like, I know, like, there's screeners that go out to the press, and I think they did maybe get these episodes. And because I think I've seen press reaction to, like, episode 3 already. But mostly all of the negativity that you heard was from that first press screener back in July.
I don't know. I guess maybe because it was billed IMAX, maybe it's Marvel. I just don't understand why this is so much worse than Flash or anything else that's on TV. I don't know how you can love things that happen like on The Flash and rip this show apart.
Well, for one, they did a lot of hype. I mean, about it being in IMAX. I mean, they set the expectation so high for IMAX. And two, it's Marvel Television. People just expect more from Marvel than they do DC.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like you. I guess I don't watch enough network TV. That this to me is just totally network TV.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I do have another question. Like, they're living on the moon, right?
Yes.
We as humans can't figure out that they're living on the moon. That's kind of disappointing.
Well, they have their like invisibility cloak dome thing over Adelan. And this human has figured it all out. Science chick has figured it all out.
Kind of disappointed in Humans. When does my Terrigenesis take place?
You gotta get yourself some Terrigen, Crystal.
Gotta get some Terrigen and some. Then we'll have cool butterfly wings.
You need some Inhuman DNA.
I think I have that. I think I'm okay with that.
You know, and then just hope that you don't turn into like a granite wall.
Or Seizure Boy.
Or Seizure Boy, or like...
Yeah, it turns out you just like have epilepsy. That's terrible.
I mean, remember Ruth Nega's character from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Like, she turned into a really... Like, she was a beautiful woman, and then she turned into like a porcupine human.
That's what I was just wondering. Like, we were talking about, me and Brittany were talking about that yesterday. Like, do they just want all Inhumans to like have their powers be like Daisy Quake, you know, to where they don't have to show anything on the outside? I mean, is it that? Yeah. That's why there was so many like poor people with no powers on Adelan. It's so disappointing.
Yeah, there was like all 20 of them in that one little pit.
It looked like a place where like Tom Cruise goes to have his like Scientology like meetings or something. That's what Adelan looked like to me. I was kind of like, eh.
To me, it looked like a federal government building.
Yeah, like a library or something.
Yeah, it's just like the feds built this building. It's pure concrete. It's
like, a lot of concrete. No wonder Eldrak come back as like a slab of concrete.
Yeah, I mean, he came back at least as like a pretty slab of concrete. That was like a nice dark stone color. But I don't know. Yeah. Adelan is ugly.
It's not pretty. I don't want to go there.
I don't want to go there.
Let's talk Black Bolt Medusa's sex room for a minute.
Oh, yes. Yes. Did that make you happy?
That did make me happy. I didn't realize we were getting it like, you know, right there in the first like 5 minutes.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
As soon as that, like, and that's why I'm saying, like, I watched those first 2 minutes and I was like, oh, these are awful. Oh, this is so awful. And then it went straight to Black Bolt sex and I was like, this show has potential. Like, okay, all right. Like, they went straight there.
Yeah, they went straight there. And I didn't think they would do that. I know me, you, and Mike we joked about it, and I'm like, we're not going to get Black Bolt sex. No.
Yeah. You got Medusa, like, controlling him with her hair during sex. Will he enjoy sex with a bald Medusa?
Guess we'll see.
Will she have sexual insecurity when she reunites with Black Bolt?
Will they get reunited? Like, will they not reunite till like episode 7? Will they ever find Triton?
I don't know. He looked like he required some special effects. My theory is all of the special effects characters we're going to, you know, see the least amount possible.
Will Crystal become useful? Will Gorgon stay on the beach forever? Become a surfer? What will become of Karnak? Will he keep walking around in circles?
Oh, poor Karnak.
Oron did come back to life, so that was cool, I guess, bitch. And she needs backup now. That was cool. That was funny. I need backup.
Well, okay, so like here's the thing. So in the comics, because I don't remember Oron in the comics, was she a good guy?
In the comics I've read, she's more of like Medusa's right-hand lady.
So if she's being mind controlled by Maximus, perhaps when she revives right now, she's no longer under his control, and she's a good guy.
Could be. I mean, she asked for backup, so I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. So, she's the one that's supposed to have the ears. The, like, pointy, like, elf ears.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, grounded and shit. No elf ears.
Come on, you gave, like, the little girl butterfly wings. How hard are elf ears? God. But she had them covered, so we'll see. I don't know if we ever got to see her ear.
Okay.
So maybe she does have elf ears.
Yeah.
Or, like, some kind of, like, funky skin. She held up her shirt and, like, healed herself. I didn't see anything funky, like, going on, but, what else? Trying to think. What other questions? Yeah, that's about it, I think.
Yeah, I think I have...
They played some good music. Good music.
It didn't make sense to me, but sure.
No,
yeah.
it didn't. No, there was one time they went to play it, and I was like, why is this song playing now?
I'm like,
but okay.
I'm like, did they make a deal with these pop artists to use their songs? Like,
I think it might have been when they were playing. I think was one of them like a Lorde song.
I'm not sure. I think it's just like the last trailer, because the last trailer that came out was really good, but it started with that song,
like Imagine Dragons song or something.
First things first, I'm gonna say the words as they come into my head, and I'm just like, yeah, I kind of think that's how this all came about. It's just I'm just gonna spew the words that come out of my head, and it just seemed like a really odd choice for a trailer, because it's not about anyways.
I hope Medusa doesn't have to wander around like a homeless person the whole time. I hope she finds some of her people.
Well, there's been pictures leaked from I think episode 4, where she gets a red leather jacket.
That'll be cool.
So she at least doesn't look like a homeless person, and she gets a laptop. So
I hope they know what to do with it.
She's at least a homeless person with a red leather jacket and a laptop.
I wonder how long before they get, like, cell phones to communicate with, like burner phones, stuff like that.
Well, Anson Mount said in an interview that he doesn't get to text.
that just seems so...
not Black Bolt style.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I get it. I do. I'm not going to say I don't get it, but it just seems so unnecessarily hard.
Yeah.
But everybody else can text and call. I want them all to have phones.
Yeah.
And live in a cool, like, apartment or like a fucking boat or something. That'd be the greatest. And then, and it's all the adventures, and then they, like, open up like a taco truck. And Inhumans.
All right.
The end.
Okay. All right. So, Shelby, what's up next in the exciting life of Superlaties?
We're going to New York Comic Con next week.
Oh my gosh. I can't believe it's been a year since we've hung out. It
hasn't been a year. We hung out in May.
Did we?
Yeah, at MegaCon.
Oh, we did! Yay! Okay. Like, damn it, it doesn't feel like it's been a year, because it hasn't been a year. Oh,
it hasn't been. I thought when you tweeted that the other day, I was like, she's just being a smartass.
Why, seriously?
We just totally hung out like 4 months ago.
Okay, good. That's why it doesn't feel like it's been a year.
We went to this other con together.
Oh, yeah. Details.
So let the travel anxiety begin.
No.
Yeah.
No travel anxiety. So we're going to be in New York, and if any of our listeners, because I'm definitely getting this uploaded like today. So if any of our listeners are there, like,
come find us. We'll be the ones with the butterfly wings looking very human. I mean, very inhuman.
We'll be the ones with butterfly wings. Or, just the ones with the backpack and,
Still, you're still totally. If somebody comes up and says, "Are you cosplaying?" I am one of Scott Buck's Inhumans.
I wish we could get the contacts. There's like the contact sellers. At the cons. Like, I wonder if we can get just like that Inhuman eye contact and be like, "Of course we're Inhumans." Like, fuck you. Don't you see our cat eyes? We so put effort into this costume.
I was gonna do elf ears, but that was too much.
Yeah.
So there, yeah. So come say hi.
Yeah.
Come say hi. We're
going to be at the Runaways panel, whatever.
Yes.
We're going to be at Runaways. We're going to be punished.
If everything works out.
No, we're going to Punisher. Shut up. We know how to do this. It's awesome. We are like con divas at this point.
Yes.
Solidly 1 year after our first con.
Yes. We're going to be hanging out. I'll be hanging out in Artist Alley.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be doing some stuff. I'm gonna be doing some pay it forward type stuff in Artist Alley.
Me too, I think.
See how that goes.
Yeah, I totally freaked out. I had to get another like suitcase, and so I got it out, and I was like, "Holy shit, this is smaller. What if my poster tube doesn't fit? What am I supposed to do?" Oh
then
my
you
God.
carry it on the plane with you.
But it works. It totally fits. But
yeah, you carry your poster tube on the plane with you. I, on the other hand, am like, I have no idea because I have like all my clothes up here because I'm living in the Adirondacks, and like obviously you wear different clothes in the Adirondacks than in New York City because it's like below freezing here already.
Jesus.
And so side story. Yesterday I was talking with a local, and I have like my list of tourist questions that I've basically just been annoying any locals with once I know they'll answer them. And they're all just sort of building up to where can I see a moose? But it starts with like, when's it gonna snow? And, anything, any good sites I should be seeing that aren't in the catalogs and, da-da-da. And this girl, like, I'm working my way to the moose question because I want to see a goddamn moose. And she just looks me in the eye, very seriously, like I hadn't asked a question, and goes, it gets to negative 30 degrees here.
Holy shit.
I was just like, yep, and I'm leaving next week. Fuck you all.
Didn't realize you were living at, like, the wall.
Yeah, I, evidently, there's gonna be White Walkers.
You should be looking for an ice dragon, not a moose.
What if I find an ice moose? Well, I'll keep my eye out for ice dragons. I have seen, we talk porcupines. Have you ever seen a porcupine?
No.
So I saw porcupine roadkill.
Oh.
I have to wonder if somebody popped a tire.
That's what I was just fixing to ask you. Like, do those pop a tire? Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it was so interesting that I almost wanted to, like, pull over and look at the roadkill, which is not something I've ever wanted to do before. But I drove down this road, like, for several days, like, passing by the same spot, and it was obviously, like, the size of a basketball with quills popping out everywhere.
That's crazy.
And, like, it
and
was
they have, like, barbs on them and shit, too. Like, it's, yeah. So
I really should have just gotten out and looked at this, because...
Yeah, because you can't, like, pull them, like, straight out. Like, if you get quilled, you have to, like, sort of twist them like a fish hook or something.
Really?
Pull them out. They're Barbie. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I know.
But anyways, porcupine roadkill. Yeah, I've never wondered about the tires before until I was just telling you about this. But after last year's con, we had all these plans for, like, having sleeping bags with us or whatever, for, like, getting there early in the morning for our living like homeless people.
Mm-hmm. Like little chairs and stuff.
All of these plans, and I totally am not bringing anything more than what we had last year. Like,
no, we made plans, and now it's just show up is what happened.
This morning I was like, what can I order on Amazon that'll get there just in time?
I did get a charger. I did get one of those little charger things.
Good.
So I got that. I don't think I'm bringing any comic books with me this time to sign because I'm gonna try to buy all the art, like buy art, not do that thing. So I don't have anything. I didn't buy a jacket. I don't have a rain jacket or anything like that. So, no foldy stool, no blanket. No.
Yeah. I feel like I'm more prepared emotionally. Like, I'm prepared to, like, whatever, if we don't get there at 3 a.m., like, if we don't need to be there at 3 a.m., I just feel like I'm prepared to just be like, okay, like, whatever. If we get into stuff, we get into stuff. If we don't get into stuff, we don't get into stuff. Like, I'm ready to just, like, hang out in Artist Alley. And, that's the way I feel prepared. Unless of the,
That's
like...
me. I feel so emotionally prepared.
Yeah.
And by being emotionally prepared, it means I'm totally unprepared, but prepared to not get into any of these things. And that's okay.
like totally emotionally prepared to do, if we just end up hanging out in Times Square and getting the Spider-Man impersonators there to sign something for us, then
it's totally fine.
That's what it's meant to be.
Exactly. I'm just happy to like go like dig through comic books and dig through art. Yeah. And I think that's the only main thing that we should worry about getting is some good snacks.
Okay.
That's it. And I think then we'll be prepared.
Okay.
We'll get those Wednesday or Thursday or whatever.
We'll get snacks at some point.
And we'll find a good diner to go to every day.
So we look forward to having a good con. And we still, at some point, will podcast about the end of the Defenders. But it just, like, that feels like a reverent moment. Like, we just got to build up to.
Yeah.
And all that. And we wanted to get these Inhumans thoughts out, like, right now.
Yeah, so. We did good. This is, like, might be the quickest that we've, other than trailers when they come out, that we've talked about a show.
Yeah.
So I love you, Inhumans. I love you.
Yay. So if you're listening, be sure to like us on like the Apple Podcast thing that I hear is no longer called iTunes. It's like Apple Podcasts or whatever. We have a YouTube channel. Yeah,
because we might have some con goodies we could bribe you with.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah. And there's no telling what we'll be able to bring back from New York Comic Con that you're gonna want, people.
I technically won the lottery to go in the Funko booth, but like I won the lottery to go in the Funko booth like 5 minutes before it closes at the very end of the complete con. So I expect to be able to buy like, I don't know, some little shit Funko that we've never heard of before that I'm totally putting right on eBay because
it's a New York Comic Con exclusive.
Unless I can get like Lockjaw or
there's a Lockjaw one. There's a Lyanna Mormont Game of Thrones one that I like. Yeah. There is the Dwight from The Walking Dead with the burned face is cool.
Ooh.
And Old Man Logan is the only ones I would probably be interested in.
If any of those are left, I will definitely buy them for you.
If not, after the con, they'll be available at GameStop, Hot Topic, eBay, Amazon.
Shut up, Shelby. They'll be available on my eBay page. All right, so we will talk to everybody later.
So, live from New York.
Yay!
Yay! Bye, people.